The following podcast is intended for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Nobody's listening, no. Nobody's listening, no. Nobody wants to hear them speak. Nobody's listening, no. Nobody's listening. Nobody wants to hear them speak. Nobody wants to hear them speak. Nobody wants to hear them speak.
Thank you for downloading, streaming, whatever it is you do to listen to the Not Listening podcast. I'm Adam. He's... Who are you?
I'm Ash.
Fuck off, I will.
Yeah. Welcome aboard. We're going to talk about films today. It's going to be fun and exciting, enthralling and invigorating. Adam, no, it's not films, is it? It's TV things. What TV things have you been watching, Adam?
If only we could stop and re-record the beginning of this. So,
Well, you did ask if anyone else wanted to start it off.
oh, well, welcome everybody. Thank you for downloading the streaming or however it is that you listen to the Not Listening podcast. I'm Adam, that's Ash, that's Will.
And the first bit's been cut.
We've done it. Who knows? Am I one to edit?
Take two.
No, I'm not.
Definitely not.
So, yeah, we're going to have a little TV chat today, aren't we?
Yeah, well, we've not recorded, well, apart from the last episode that we just recorded.
No, don't.
Maybe some
Let's
time
not
ago.
confuse
Who could say?
the constraints of time.
We don't know which order these are going in.
Well, talking of confusing the constraints of time,
Is that actually a
that
sentence that I
leads,
just made?
well, I was thinking Umbrella Academy,
Yeah.
Ooh.
There
which
we go.
thoroughly does so, and was
So-
a rather excellent TV series, in my opinion.
Give a little synopsis about what it is for anybody out there who hasn't actually watched it.
So,
TV
based on
show.
a comic or graphic novel, as we like to say,
Written by whom?
a graphic novel author.
It is Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance actually created Umbrella Academy.
Okay, that I
okay.
didn't know. But basically, you've got the concept of a load of children born at the same time, within the same minute, from mothers who weren't even pregnant, that all have their own special powers, that little je ne sais quoi, all gathered together by a mad professor type who subsequently dies, and you have the 6 of the surviving 7 children, I believe, in the house meeting up to deal with the death of their father and then the impending apocalypse. And it's all rather good fun from there. Don't want to throw out any spoilers, but they all die. Except for the ones that don't.
Oh, good save. Good
Oh, yeah.
save. No, that's a good synopsis. Yeah, I think
Yes.
that's. I mean, a lot of people probably
Oh, and there's
seen
a
it.
talking chimpanzee.
That's-
Butler.
Yes.
Everyone needs a monkey butler.
You've got to have one of those.
Not a monkey. I know it's not a monkey. It doesn't have a tail. It's an ape. Don't
It's a
Twitter
chimp.
at us.
Do you think someone would?
Yes.
We live.
I would.
We live in the world of
Brexit.
Twitter when people get it wrong.
And
Snowflake.
retweets.
Snowflake generation, they call it. It's like GMB,
Oh, yes.
innit? Good Morning Britain always get all the
it is.
funny old tweets against Piers Morgan. So you are the Piers Morgan of this show, Will. You know,
So,
didn't you?
fuck you. Hot robot stepmother, monkey butler, hairy Billy Bones.
Well, you,
Who lives on the
You
moon?
just saying words.
Hairy Billy Bones. Billy Bones from Black Sails, but you don't watch Amazons.
No.
Right, okay,
yeah.
so if you're going to make references to shows that I don't know and then expect me to know it, then you're
I
going
didn't
to
expect
lose.
Uh,
you to know it.
He lived on the moon.
I know he lived on the moon. Not the
What,
real
Billy Bones?
guy.
Yeah.
Not in Black Sails, no.
No, Black Sabbath he didn't.
Right.
Well, I'm confused. Let's go back. Rewind. What?
Which is what the superpower of one of them is.
Oh, well done.
Travelling through space and time to see the future when the world is dead and having to work out how to save it.
It is a good show. I've seen it. Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
It's awesome. I'm very excited. I believe they're working on a second season.
Yep.
It's cool stuff.
Ellen Page is in it. I thought she was brilliant in it.
Oh, yes.
The girl from Tudor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. The one without the superpower.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're not spoiling it. We're
So,
going to try
moving
not
on
to be
from
spoilers.
spoilers, like I say, well worth watching. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Monkey Butler for the win.
Don't just jump straight into another thing. Jesus, the
Why
podcast will
not?
be like 3 minutes long.
Oh, it depends how many things we cover, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, I don't think we've got that much free.
At least
little
two.
Pad.
But you're right, Monkey Butler.
Monkey Butler. Monkey Butler. Monkey Butler.
I want a fucking monkey.
Munting
I
butler.
require a Munty butler.
Try to say that after a few beers.
Is a
I
Munty a
just
sword?
But no, yeah, so Umbrella Academy, superheroes, massive at the moment, thanks to Marvel and DC and that smashing their movies out,
Yeah.
going to TV. But then you got the TV stuff that were really big when you had Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, that Marvel stuff on Netflix.
Just since we last recorded, there's been Guardians 2, Thor
But it's such a big thing that people expect to watch it because the other one you're going to talk about, The Boys.
I was going to go on Good Omens next.
Well, no, let's try and
Let's do the ball.
understand. He doesn't understand.
No,
segueing
flow,
into it.
segueing
You don't
no.
understand plan. We need to have a linear sort of way of getting through this podcast.
You're right, it's putting us in a bad place, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like we
Yeah.
don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, so The Good Place.
Oh!
Sorry. Oh, you wanted to talk about The Boys.
I do want to talk about The Boys, and then we can talk about the TV show as well.
Excellent
After that.
show.
So it'll be fun. It's 2019. Get over it. The Boys.
The Boys.
Ash, you give a synopsis of The Boys. I'm looking forward to this.
Oh, blimey, I'm trying to remember all that actually happened in it.
Right, okay, no, let's stop you there. I'm going to give you. This is going to give you a little bit of time to remember, but just remember, Will come up with the idea of talking about TV shows, and he gave a very good synopsis of the Umbrella Academy without even thinking.
There was a monkey
So no
butler.
pressure.
And he went straight into it. And like anyone would think Will would rehearse that, and he'd written it down. He hadn't. He just went off the top of his head. That shows how good of a synopsis person he is.
A synopsisizer, we'll go.
There
with.
we go. See, he's better than me. I don't even know what
Yeah.
the name of it is. So now I'm giving you time to sort of think of it. But you now need to give us a good synopsis of The Boys.
So the Boys is sort of the premise is a lot like I see it as sort of the X-Men and Guardians and all of that kind of stuff, where there's a group of superheroes that all get together and start trying to save people and do stuff.
Like the Avengers.
That's the one, Avengers. Yeah.
How could you forget the Avengers?
I don't know. and they go through and they're saving people and doing all this kind of stuff, but they've all got egos and they're all the snowflake generation. So they're all trying to just be as nice and good as possible, and behind the scenes they're all arseholes.
But that's okay, fair enough.
Basically, the superheroes are owned by a giant corporate, and it's all about the social media and the appearance of being good, but they're complete spoiled shitbags.
They're all arseholes. Yeah.
Yes. And the boys... Who are the boys?
Yeah, and who are the boys that this show is based on?
Who are the boys? Well, you got the Superman type character.
Oh no, he don't. I
No,
don't think he knows.
he
what
doesn't
you're talking
know.
about. No, he
Has he-
doesn't.
have you
That's the
it?
boys.
Have you watched
No,
it?
the boys are the people, the vigilantes fighting the superheroes.
Trying to bring him down. Have you
Oh,
watched
I got
the
that
show?
wrong.
Have you watched the
Yeah.
show?
I thought that. I just assumed that the
Don't
boys
you
were
remember
the
the
people.
Cockney from Australia, mate?
Oh yeah.
Carl Urban.
Yeah.
With a totally unnecessary
Bones.
accent.
Oh, so they
Bones
were the
from
boys,
Star Trek.
right? Okay.
You watched all like
I watched all
9
episodes.
or 10 episodes they had,
Yeah.
and you didn't even notice the boys were.
This isn't the one with Danger Boat in it, is it?
No,
No,
that's the tick.
the tick.
Welcome back, Ash. Welcome back.
Holy fuck.
God, and
No, it was good. It was
Oh,
good with the saving planes, and you got the man that swims.
Yeah,
Deep, the deep, I think he was called.
Yeah,
and
the
stuff,
Deep.
who's a
And-
bit of a sex fiend.
Yes, and
Yeah.
the guy with the moth wings and his sister and no, that's the tick. Shit,
I
sorry.
was going to say the moth wings. No, that's
The tick's awesome, actually. Well worth a look.
what was
on
the
Amazon.
Superman character called?
The American
Boys.
or something.
Yeah, it was some-
I can't really recall.
Oh, do you know
Mr.
what? Commander.
He was the commander,
The commander.
of the group.
But I can't remember.
Were they
his
the
name.
7 or something?
The 7, yeah, they were the
Yeah.
7, yeah. So there were 7 superheroes put together.
See, I remember bits of it. I watch TV
I'm-
series,
I'm-
never
I'm-
forget stuff.
I'm taking the piss at you, but I couldn't give you a synopsis because I can't even remember. But
Yeah,
I know-
I've
I
watched
know
so
I-
many things.
I know I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I know it was really good, and I watched it in about 3 days. Probably that's probably the problem with binge watching. Is I end up watching shows too quickly that I don't digest
Exactly.
anything.
Don't remember. Don't
So-
think about it.
You have a man running a normal life. He's got a lovely girlfriend. Unfortunately, the super fast superhero A-Train runs through her at high speed,
That's
turns her into a
wonderful.
mush. He meets Carl Urban, who wants to help bring down these superheroes due to their corruption. Joins forces with an insane ex-Foreign Legion Frenchman, and one other who I can't really remember the details of. And the 4 of those go up against the superheroes in an attempt to bring them down. And it's the story of their people and their struggle against the superheroes.
Yes.
And it's fun.
And that's only season 1.
And A-Train races some other fast person to be the fastest person in the world. I remember that episode.
Yes.
That was a very small detail that didn't
With
really...
loads of drugs. loads and loads of drugs. Which is why he can't control
Yes, the
himself.
performance-enhancing superhero drugs are a major plot point.
Yes.
And I'm with Ash. I watched it so much in such a short amount of time that
I think I
half of
watched
it-
the whole
half of it I
series
can't
in a
remember,
weekend.
But I know I liked it, so it must have been all right.
Well, that's it's a good omen, at least.
Ah!
Which leads us nicely on to the Game of Thrones finale.
But you're going to have to talk about Good Omens because I haven't actually seen it.
So, Good Omens, I first encountered as a book that was a cooperative novel by Terry Pratchett, the late great, and the incredible Neil Gaiman. It's been turned into radio series before. I think it was televised before, but Amazon did a particularly good take on it recently with David Tennant as the Demon Crowley, and I can't remember Martin Freeman. Martin Sheen,
Martin
thank you,
Sheen.
as the Angel Aziraphale. And an
Tom
astonishing, astonishing cast of actors and actresses.
Well, the reason that I remember these people is because I actually went to South by Southwest in Austin, Texas,
And
earlier
what
on
is South
in the
by
year.
Southwest, Ash?
It is a massive movie, gaming, and
Piss up.
piss up thing
Who'd you go there
in
with?
Austin. I went with a couple of mates from around here. It was a friend's 40th birthday, and he'd always wanted to go. And it happened to coincide that we had Mardi Gras and then South by.
So
and we
not
could do it
playing
in a
host,
2-week.
Rob.
Not playing
Former
host,
not
Rob.
playing host, John.
Yeah.
Oh, is he not in it? Let's come out.
Oh, he's not done it for years.
He quit it all.
Oh, it's full of quitters, this place.
Oh, the podcasters, they just go down like flies.
Disgraceful, isn't it? I mean, people like us have the staying power. That's the thing.
Hey, look, we know we take a break, we come back.
Yeah.
John, what a week.
So, South by
So
Southwest.
we did Mardi Gras and then straight on to Austin for South by, and it was a mental 2 weeks of just drunken debauchery. And South by was brilliant because Amazon had spent an absolute fortune on converting this car park into a Good Omens set type thing. It was and free booze and free food and this little stage show and all these angels and demons running around and the hounds from hell were there, which were just these little really cute puppies that you could actually take away if you wanted to adopt them. They were all for adoption.
Really?
Yep.
Take her away there.
I think
Then
you have
and
to
there.
sign some paperwork, and you have to wait a little bit.
Oh, wait,
But they were all up for adoption.
So you're there getting
You
smashed.
don't get given a free dog.
I was going to
when
say, you
actually
made it
turn
sound
up.
like you get
No.
out, you're smashed out your face, and then you go, I fancy a dog, and they're like, all right, sign a bit of paper, take it to the next bar with you.
Yeah, no, it wasn't quite like that. But while we were there was they do all these the premieres and all of this kind of stuff, and there was a Good Omens one. There was only one showing of this thing. We had to queue for fucking hours and managed to get into it. And you had Neil Gaiman, Martin Sheen, David Tennant, Tom Hamm, and the director, who I've forgotten his name, all up on stage.
Oh, really?
And they were showing clips from the series. We thought we were going to see the first episode, but they didn't do that.
But they had Q&A, yeah?
Yeah, they would do.
Yeah.
They do clips. They talk about it, and they talk about their experiences. And they were talking about Terry Pratchett as well, and why there's a scene of a sushi restaurant and all this kind of stuff, because that was something that Terry Pratchett really wanted. And then there was Q&A afterwards, but they didn't give us any hints or anything. But that really got me into it, and I had to watch it straight away. And Will's just pulled out the book.
A very well-thumbed copy
Yes.
of Good Omens,
Well-
just in the bookshelf next to me, in fact.
There were people in the audience that actually say they've got 4 copies because the first 3 fell apart because they'd read them so much.
Well, some
Which is
people
a bit
just
sad.
read the same thing over and over.
Well, and they don't, and they don't look after their books.
Well, exactly that.
So, Good Omens, I've got the book in my hand.
So, in synopsis, Good Omens is the story of heaven versus hell and the end of times. That'll do. No.
Oh, fair enough.
But in detail, it is about the birth of the Antichrist and his raising by an angel and a demon and a comedy of errors whereby he's adopted by the wrong family and grows up normal while they raise a normal boy
as the
son of the Antichrist.
devil, yeah.
And then the story of this sleepy little village where the Antichrist and his gang of young chums start the apocalypse. And it's great fun. Very funny, very witty. I'm hoping there's not a plan to be a second series
There
because it's
isn't.
a single story.
There definitely isn't. That was actually one of the questions that was asked, and Neil Gaiman turned around and said, I'm giving up being a producer and stuff. I'm going back to writing books. It's easier.
Good. 'cause
And
his books
he
are
actually
amazing.
said he's doing it English. He's done English style. It is a series which is 6 episodes because that's the English way,
Yeah.
and 6 episodes only, and it has a beginning,
And
a
an end.
middle, and an end.
And no filler.
Yep. And no, there is definitely not going to be a second series. It is done.
I like the way, and because it's English, you call it a series.
Yes.
Because we get caught up in the whole season 1, season 2, which we all now adopt because it's American.
Actually, I refuse.
I still
but
use series.
No, but when they say, oh, season 1, season 2, you're like, yeah, fine. But when it's an English show, you like, it's a series.
Indeed.
And it's 6 episodes. It's not 24 or 23 or just dragged on and on and on.
But one thing I will say that I do like about the productions we're getting out of Netflix and Amazon is most of the episodes are an hour long. They're not built to be 45 minutes for adverts. And that's a pleasure. Although quite surprising when you think, oh, it will be over in a moment, and it isn't.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was fun.
I'm going to check that out. I don't watch enough Amazon stuff.
It was good.
Watch it with the missus. She'll
book
love
is,
it.
The
Yeah?
book is excellent. I'd recommend reading the book. The reason that they've taken so long to do the film and stuff is because Neil Gaiman wasn't happy with the level of special effects up until now, thinking they couldn't actually capture it and do it.
The story was told excellently. There were deviations
Yeah,
from
there
the book
were.
in a number of places.
Well, Tom Hamm's character isn't really in the book that much.
I can't remember who.
Who's
plays.
Tom Hamm?
Tom Hamm was Mad Men.
Do you mean John Hamm?
Is it John
Yeah.
Hamm? Probably. Yeah,
I was
close
wondering
enough.
who Tom Hamm
I
was.
keep
Like
remembering-
we
not
should
Tom
have
Hamm.
known.
Yeah, it's John
no,
Hamm.
I'll put
Yeah.
my hand up if I don't know
Yeah.
somebody, but I'm pretty...
It is
got
John.
my finger on the pulse when it comes
Yeah,
to
it's John.
people. Tom Hamm.
He was in the suit. That was it. Suits.
Is he in the Metatron?
He was
No,
in
he's
Suits.
not in
No,
Suits.
it's Mad
He's
Men.
in Mad Men.
It was Mad Men. See, I was
Yeah,
right.
but it's John
now
Hamm.
you're confusing me.
No, he's not confused. You just got his name wrong. He's just
Tom, John.
I said Mad Men, and then it made me think about Suits because while he was up on
Because
stage,
he
they
wore
were,
a suit.
but while he was up on stage, they were constantly taking the piss out of his suit and his brown shoes. And I was very drunk at the time that I watched the little show thing.
little show thing.
Yeah, yeah, it was good. Well, they were feeding us free cocktails for basically a week.
So, on the subject of going down in flames,
I just have, yes.
the good place. No, Game of Thrones.
Thrones.
Well, actually, we're going to heaven and hell. Maybe it's the good place. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Anyone update on
Do
Neighbours?
Game of Thrones. We'll end up on a good high.
Well, since we last recorded, apart from the episode that just went out or might go out after this, and who knows?
confuse people, man. Don't confuse
Space-time
people.
continuum. So there have been 2 series of Game of Thrones. There's been a lot of battles.
Yeah, we've not had
Quite a lot of people have died.
We've not had a chance to talk about stuff like this because usually we used to be quite on it. We used to keep it. Oh, do a little preview of Game of Thrones or a preview of Walking Dead and that. But
Oh, got
we've
bored of that.
we've all sort of like so much has
Walking Dead.
happened, and then things are finished, and people are still upset about the end of Game of Thrones. I don't care. Like
I was disappointed.
People are still upset.
It was a bit lame, but I can work very much on the basis it's only a TV programme. I
thought the
thought
last
there was a
series
bit of a
was
weak
rushed.
cop-out ending. The fact that they cut a couple of episodes off meant that they did a couple of weird jumps, but it
Well, they
was
spent-
all right.
I think we just need to get our general consensus out there to say Game of Thrones ending was a little bit meh.
Yeah.
The ending was meh, but the journey was amazing. It's
Yeah,
like going
up
on
to
a
the last
massive.
episode.
It's like going on
Brilliant.
a massive road trip with your friends, doing the
Episode, series.
whole of the country and having a whale of a time, and ending up in Basildon.
It's like going all the way to South by Southwest in Austin, expecting to see John Hamm, and Tom Hamm turns up.
Yeah, that's the one. Yep.
It's that level of disappointment. Who's this guy?
Yeah.
So
And is that a suit?
he was in that show, show about suits. Oh, what's that show?
What
was
not
that
to wear.
show?
Suits was a different show about lawyers.
Yeah, with Meghan Markle with it.
Ah, Her Royal Highness Meghan Markle.
Oh, was she in it?
Do you actually watch TV?
I watch Suits. I just don't pay attention to royals and famous people. I don't give a shit.
Well,
who
like
they are.
Tom Hamm.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got an
Well, I was
episode
close
title, haven't we?
I don't know, maybe last time. I'm just thinking, the fuck is Tom Hamm?
There's
at least
the
you
episode
said-
title.
At least you picked me up on it.
I do love a bit of Tom Hamm. It's great. So, what you got on that list? How can we segue into that nice a bit? Because you're getting good at this.
Well, I hadn't quite finished with the Game of Thrones
No,
chat because, you know, the
We Tom Hammed it up.
and as I was saying, fucking hell, Adam.
I wasn't even trying to be funny. I just said words.
Game of Thrones was fun. There was a lot of interesting stuff, like people pulling a dragon from the bottom of a lake with chains that came out the middle of nowhere, and it felt
no one-
weaker the last couple of series. It was just like when George Martin was up to date with the books, they had things to base it on. When they went past him, his vision got muddied somewhat, and I'm sure he gave creative direction on where it needed to go. But they were able, when they started doing it, to pretty much faithfully base it on the events of the book, and they had descriptions that were well thought through. Because one thing you can say for George Martin's books is he's thought them through, hence the fact that he actually doesn't seem to be able to finish. That and the fact he will die of a heart attack very soon.
Why was there a sex joke lined up there? I don't know why I thought
Is
that
it
way.
because you've always secretly wanted sex with George Martin?
A little bit, maybe, but no. I was thinking when you said he can never finish.
Oh,
You were lining me up for some kind of sexual joke.
No, I wasn't going there. I was going.
And
with
I
the
don't
fact that
think
he doesn't
many-
seem to be able to finish any fucking books.
I don't think many
It's been 8
people
years,
made.
hasn't it? He's been trying to write the last book.
Oh, I've lost track. Winds of Winter. It'll happen when it happens, or it won't. To an extent, the kindest thing might be for him to die and a ghostwriter to take over and actually fucking finish it. That's what happened with Robert Jordan's Game of Thrones, but that will be a TV series at some point, apparently, which we'll cover probably in a few years' time, maybe,
Robert
if anyone
Jordan
watches.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Wheel of Time. Did I say Game of Thrones?
You did
You
say
said Game of
Well, I
Thrones.
meant
well.
Wheel of Time.
Right, you said Tom Hamm. You said Game of Thrones. I'm getting confused.
Yeah,
now.
there's someone else's Game
Yeah.
of Thrones. That's
Yeah.
just a bit weird.
Tom Hamm's Game of Thrones.
Tom Hamm's Game of Thrones.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Good save.
the point is, it didn't end up in a good place.
Oh.
However,
Ash, he's getting good
He's
at this,
getting
isn't
better.
he?
He's getting better.
It's almost as if like he's still podcasting.
Well, he does keep looking down at his notes, going, "How the fuck am I going to get to this
well,
one?"
actually, I was just seeing if there's anything else I hadn't crossed out, so that kind of like lets me do the thing with the what's it.
Looking down. And
Yeah,
going,
good place.
"Wow."
Netflix series. It's quite difficult to talk about too much without throwing spoilers in for anyone who hasn't watched it.
I can't
But it's
remember if
not
I've seen
laugh
it or
out loud funny. It's very charming.
Yeah.
It's entertaining. It's very, very nice. Far too nice.
Oh, why'd you get why?
I want a bit Vivian.
It's
just a bit bloody nice.
It's not though. It's this very American NBC.
Twee.
Yeah,
But it's
whimsical.
got some nice
it's very
jokes in it.
whimsical.
You say whimsical, I say saccharine sweet. But it's got some jokes in it. It's the story of some. We won't go into too much detail for those that have watched it. Sorry, that haven't. Those that have watched it, I don't give a fuck about. But it's essentially some people die, end up in heaven. They think they're in the good place. They may or may not be. And as the series goes on, it's the story of the group in
The Good Place.
with the angels and the demons.
Excellent. I've not seen it.
It's great.
Now that I've said that synopsis, I know I've not seen that.
It's a sitcom,
I'd
essentially.
remember
set
at
in-
least a little bit of that.
Got Christian Bell in it. Ted Danson.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bell.
Bell. Who's he?
It's a girl. Kristen.
Oh, Christine. I think it's Christian.
I think he said Christian.
Did I say Christian?
Oh, you definitely said Christian Bale.
Oh.
It's all right. Tim Hamm was the same.
You say tomato, I say Tom Hamm. So yeah,
It's changed into Tim. now.
Kristen Bell. That's right, innit? Kristen Bell.
Yeah.
And Ted Danson.
Oh, okay.
Ted
And
Danson's good.
Jamelia Jamil, who used to be a T4 presenter,
Yes.
and she's now
She's very tall.
very tall and very, very opinionated on social media about people filtering her pictures and all that stuff. Wow. Yeah, just yeah.
Used to be a primary school teacher.
Did you really?
Apparently. I think I read that. Don't know why I would have bothered reading that. But I'm
It must have been
into my
somewhere.
celebrity goss.
It
I
must have been
admit.
somewhere.
Yeah.
You must have been on a
I
toilet
think it was
somewhere.
probably
reading
IMDb trying to work out who the fuck she was.
Probably.
Which is it's the trouble. You sit there watching a thing that he says, you go, "Oh, do I know them?
Who's that?
IMDb."
No, I don't.
I watched Misfits. we're rewatching Misfits
blimey,
at the
that's,
moment.
yeah, that's old. That was good.
I'd forgot Ruth Negga was in it. So you've
Yes.
got both Ruth Negga and
Ramsay
Joe
Bolton.
Gilgan. And,
Yep.
yeah, but both
From
two
Preacher,
of the three
yeah.
from Preacher. I keep expecting Dominic West just to wander in from Queer as Folk.
And you got the guy from Umbrella Academy in it as well.
Yes,
Robert
yep.
Shanahan or whatever
Yes.
his name is.
Yes,
And-
that's well worth
and you
mentioning. In
got-
Umbrella Academy, he's superb.
Oh yeah, he's yeah. We talked about it at the beginning.
Yeah.
We've gone full circle.
Oh, and I have a lap full of sperm.
Are
we done?
Oh, that means we're done. He went just like you. Well, you did one more thing than George R.R. Martin's ever done. You
Well,
finished.
that's it.
So we just go
Finish the
from
job.
there. All right. Well, thanks for listening to our ramblings of TV shows that we've enjoyed. I really do. To be fair, there's some good shouts there.
Tom Hamm's good place.
Tom Hamm's good place. It's a definite go-to. So thanks for downloading and thanks for listening. I've been Adam. If you want to tweet us, you can. It's at Not Listening Pod. Will, we got anything to say? Anything to...
No.
No? Ash, have you got anything lined up to say? Anything important?
I'm confused.
Oh, well, there we go. See you later, everyone.
Nobody's listening. Nobody's